Hi, good afternoon. We're here with Michelle from Barclay Firth. How are you doing, Michelle?
Good, thank you.
Good stuff. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon and doing the interview. So, just to start things off, if you'd like to give us a little bit of background as to who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for, please.
So I have a co-owner company with my partner, Barclay Firth. Barclay Firth started in 2009, and I've been working with Neil Hamilton, my partner, since then. In 2019, I took over as managing director. Prior to that, I started in the late 80s in civil and structural engineering, and in 92 started my own architectural design company, which I still have running now, although I've moved various places around the world and been back in the UK about 17 years now, running the architectural company as well. So that's a very quick background.
Yeah, quick synopsis of the business history there. Thank you for that. So in terms of Barclay Firth and 2019, when you became MD, we ask everybody who comes on, does an interview, interested to know about how the pandemic affected their business. What was the biggest impact for you guys? Obviously 2019 being MD, just going into that period. Yeah, what was the biggest thing for you?
The biggest thing was at the time we were in the middle of building 10 houses. So initially that first week, obviously everything closed. There was a lot of panic, a lot of concern. We thought it was over basically. But within the week, guidelines were put out, and we basically changed all our documentation, and we reopened a week later as construction was allowed to happen. We had to put an awful lot of safety protocols in place. It slowed the pace down because we couldn't have multiple trades in a house. Everyone had to keep their distance. So it slowed us down. I think it added about 5 months to the program, a construction program, which had a knock-on effect with house sales, and we couldn't show any houses. We literally a week after lockdown was when we were supposed to have all our first viewings. So we had loads of viewings booked in for the homes we were building. We lost all of those. We weren't allowed to have viewings for several months. It took a long time to get things back on track, but we got through it. We adapted basically very quickly, had to adapt.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So in terms of any actions that you were forced to make and perhaps actually discovered that they were an improvement on the processes that you had, was there anything like that that came through?
Processes, yeah, systems and procedures, safety procedures on site. It was mostly that, to be honest. We did review systems generally as well. We have all the systems and procedures written out anyway, but it was mostly to do around safety, and some of those we still have. Well, most of those we still have, that we use on the current development as well.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you for that. So in terms of looking at the future and all being well, the pandemic and the circumstances that you forced to operate in and that have passed through, future look like for you now? What do you see as the challenges are going ahead?
Challenges at the moment in the construction industry are shortage of labour. That's a big one. The cost of materials, the labour prices have increased. The current project we're just about to finish, we agreed fixed prices from all our contractors and trades, and agreed prices for materials 18 months ago. And in that 18 months, things have skyrocketed. So everybody's prices have gone up, and it's caught a lot of developers out. I know there's a lot of contractors have been able to adapt, but a lot of developers have been caught out by it. So we're moving forward. We've got 2 new projects we're about to start in the new year, hopefully. We've had to make a lot of changes. It's really made us review materials, review the way we specify things, lenders, how we deal with lenders as well, the approach we're taking to all our costings. There's been a lot of changes. It's got very, very difficult. And speaking to colleagues, they're all the same, all in the same boat.
plenty of challenges across the sector. Yeah, definitely. So thank you for sharing that. In terms of looking at yourself then, and I suppose being a business owner, a director, your history that you have in business, what would you say in terms of sharing your biggest lesson, a learning that you've had? If you could pick one, what would that be?
Wow.
Yeah.
There isn't one. There isn't a singular one.
Yeah.
Know your numbers.
Yeah.
Basically, finance would be the biggest, I think, really. The way things change, being on top of your finance all the time. But there are so many other areas as well that would follow closely behind that, certainly in development and construction. But I think the main one would be, basically your finances. Know where you are every single day.
So it's the fuel for your business to be on top of those. Good learning shared there. So in terms of advice to someone just starting out in business, would that lesson about knowing your numbers, would that be reflective in the advice, or would there be a separate piece of advice if you could offer someone starting out? What would that be?
Starting out, definitely finances is a big one. That there's, get systems and procedures in place as quickly as possible. Anything that you do more than a few times, automate to make things simpler. There's so many areas: marketing, the sales, your training, but finances are a big one. Definitely
Sure.
Know your budget. Know know exactly where you are in terms of budget, and planning ahead, cash flow forecast. Know how to read balance sheets, your profit and loss.
Brilliant, thank you. So in terms of inspiration to do what you do, we like to ask each person we interview as well what they use for inspiration. So it could be anything that they read, or anything that you read, anything that you listen to, the people that you work with, your team members, friends, family, anything that inspires you to do what you do within your business.
I've been doing this a long time. I've been in construction since the late 80s now. And what inspired me then is a love of design and drawing, and that still inspires me sort of 34 years later. I still design and draw a lot. I love taking things from a blank piece of paper to handing a home over to people that you've designed, and is going to be there for some time, and that you've done a great job, and delivered a fantastic home for somebody that somebody loves. I do a lot of personal development, because it can get very, very hard, and taking motivation from all sorts of books, a full range of business books and psychology books, and just a lot of mindset stuff, to be honest. It's a mindset every day.
Definitely. Is there anything that stands out? Anything you're reading now at all that you could share?
I've just finished a fantastic book called the Almanac of Naval Ravikant.
Okay.
Which is a business book. He's an entrepreneur, and it's a fantastic book. I've just started one called Power Cues, so I've only just got into that. I listen to Audible a lot. I drive a lot, so I get through a lot of books on Audible.
It's a great suggestion, great idea. I think a lot of people do that now, especially time constraints, but with traveling and stuff like that, what can I do in this time? And listening to audiobooks is a great way to fill that time that otherwise you wouldn't necessarily be doing anything in. So that's good. Thank you for that. So lastly, in terms of any latest news around Barclay Firth that you'd like to share, is there anything, or perhaps could even just be the website to refer us to, if people are looking to be finding out a little bit more? You do.
Yes, well, we're hopefully got 2 new developments in the new year, one in North Yorkshire and one in West Yorkshire. Can't say any more than that at the moment, but it will be on our website very soon, which is barclayfirth.com, and we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook as well.
Fantastic.
It's looking forward to the new year.
Check you out on the socials, on the website there. Thank you very much, Michelle. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Appreciate you taking the time, and all the best with it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.